that I cut out from our curriculum choices, and I'm really, really sad about this one because I was so looking forward to doing it. But hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if you are new here, and in this video I wanted to share our kindergarten curriculum choices. I'm super excited for next year. It is going to be our second year homeschooling, and this current year right now is the first time that I homeschooled, and I went in a little bit blindly, not sure how I would like it, not sure if my son would like it, and we've had so much fun. So I've spent countless hours trying to figure out what we're gonna do next year. I've watched so many YouTube videos, it's crazy. And I have put, as you can tell, so much thought into these choices. So I'm really excited to make this video. I've been thinking about making this video for a while. So my biggest dilemma was really language arts, because if you have been following this channel, then you know that we have been using Gather Round Homeschool for preschool. So Gather Round does have a kindergarten program, and it's called Ready to Read. So it teaches the children how to read based off of word families, and it is formatted in a very similar way that their preschool program is formatted, and we have really, really enjoyed the preschool program. My biggest problem with just going in with both feet and just choosing Gather Round for kindergarten was that I don't see myself using Gather Round as our language arts after kindergarten. So it's supposed to be like an all-inclusive curriculum for all grades, and I only really like it for preschool or kindergarten. Now, I wasn't planning on using it after kindergarten, after their Ready to Read program, but because we're really enjoying the unit study style, I'm actually probably going to continue doing it, but I'm definitely not going to be using it as our language arts. So I have done a lot of research, and I wanted to switch to the Good and the Beautiful language arts after the Ready to Read program, but I also really didn't want to skip over the kindergarten. So now I had this dilemma of, how do I do both? Do I do both? Do I just pick one or the other? And I finally figured out something that I think is going to work, and I'm really excited about it. So I have here the Good and the Beautiful language arts. This is going to be our main language arts program for kindergarten. I have this here. I printed this out myself. I bought an EcoTank printer and a binding machine and the coils and everything, and it was really fun. Some people might find it horrible to do something like that. It took a really long time, but I actually had a lot of fun doing it. And I also printed out the booster cards. They didn't quite come out how I wanted them to, but they will do. I mean, they're 100% usable. There's just a little bit of space on the bottom. So I have these. I still need to print out the booster books, but I found a YouTube video that walks you through the settings, so I'm hoping that goes well, but I could just buy the books if I can't figure it out. So that leaves us with, what are we going to do with the Ready to Read program? And if, like I said, if you've been following my channel, you know that we actually already started the first unit of Ready to Read. Ready to Read has 4 units, and they're each 9 weeks long. So they are 9 weeks long, and they are 4-day weeks, and each day has 4 worksheets and the little lesson about whatever animal or environmental factor, because the first unit is burrows and holes, the second is at the pond, then the third is snow and ice, and the fourth is on the Sahara, or on the savannah, I think it is, something like that. So we do really want to go through them all, because my son loves animals, as I've mentioned probably 200 times on this channel, but he really enjoys learning about the animals. So I didn't want to just fully switch to the Good and the Beautiful and just leave behind learning about his interests. So I decided we are going to still do it as like a unit study, and obviously it will have a lot of practice for learning to read, which will be really good. And it also has a little bit of social studies and a little bit of math. So it will be good practice for that too. But instead of trying to do one every day, and then 4 worksheets on top of his other curriculum. I figured that's just too much. He's in kindergarten. I could probably squeeze it in, but I know I don't want to stress him out. I don't want to stress myself out. I want it to be fun. So we're going to do it in half the time. So during our morning basket time is when I already started reading the lesson for the day. So we'll read the little lesson on the animal and the little Bible study, which is, it only takes like maybe 3 or 4 minutes to do the Bible study. So we'll only do it twice a week. So then that only gives us 8 worksheets a week to do. And I also figured if he doesn't need practice on one of them, like the math, he doesn't feel like doing it, or I suppose the reading, if he's mastered that reading already and he doesn't want to do it, I'm not going to like push him to do every single worksheet, but it will only be two worksheets a day then, and I think that's completely doable, especially because I plan on doing a little bit of work with my 3-year-old this school year. So some of them he could do a little bit independently, so it'll give him something to do while I'm working with Riley. So that's the plan for language arts. It's obviously a lot, but I am super excited for it because I feel like it is going to lay a really strong foundation of reading for him, and it keeps us learning about the things that he's interested in, which means a lot to me. So I have here burrows and holes just as an example. When we start next year, though, we will be starting at the pond, and then I think we will be able to do 2 of the 4 units, so that will only leave 1 more unit. So I'm not sure when we're going to get to that 4th unit. Maybe we'll just continue on in the summer and we'll use it in the summer next year. Maybe we will save it for the first little semester of 1st grade. Haven't figured that quite out yet, but I do want to get to all of them because they all sound like really fun topics and really interesting to my son. So after that long spiel, let me move on to math. If you have been around here, then you know we have already started the Good and the Beautiful math. We are on lesson 27, and we had stopped using this because I had implemented a morning basket where we were doing a preschool unit, and then it didn't take us that long, so he was still interested. Some days we would throw in a lesson of this, but like I said, we added in morning basket. We've been doing a lot more read alouds recently, so we have since stopped doing this. So we're going to pick this back up in the fall and finish it out. If my son is really enjoying it and we finish it early, since we are a little bit of the ways into it, maybe I'll pick up the 1st grade. I'm not sure on that though. So then really kind of the last thing that we have is handwriting. He currently is doing the pre-writing, but he should finish this year. He might have a few pages left, but I'm going to pick up the kindergarten one for him next year, which I obviously have not gotten yet, but I will get it by next year. And then basically one of the last things that I wanted to mention is that we are also going to be starting Sunlight in the fall. And because I have a 3-year-old as well, I want to keep both of the boys together in our Sunlight curriculum because I want to do the History, Bible, Literature packages, and the very first program is level T, package T, and it's for 3 to 4-year-olds. So that will work out well with my younger son, and then my kindergartner will be 5 when we start kindergarten. So obviously he technically doesn't fit into that, but he will definitely enjoy learning, reading those stories and everything. So I'm not concerned about that. So he technically will be, doing that in school too, but that's really just reading some books, and it's not very intensive or anything like that. So that is kind of really it for our curriculum choices for this year. It does include social studies and science because of the Gather Round unit studies has that in there, so that makes me feel good. I also have this arts and crafts book from The Good and the Beautiful. I was originally planning on trying to do 1 a week, but I've realized that that's going to be too much. So I'm just going to keep this, and I'm going to go through it at the pace that feels right. Hopefully we'll get through some of them throughout the school year, but I'm not going to make sure I do any at a set pace or anything. And then the last couple things that I wanted to mention was just a couple things that I have cut out because I know that it's really easy to like overload the schedule as a first-time homeschooler, and I was definitely doing that, and I was planning on doing 2 more things. This is the geography skill sharpener. This is very, very minimal. It's only like, I think like 1 or 2 pages for a lesson. So it's definitely wouldn't be a big deal if we tried to do it. And if my son wants to do it, maybe I'll let him try it on like that 5th day, because most of this curriculum that we're doing is only going to be 4 days a week. So maybe I will put this in on the 5th day, or if he's interested, we'll do it. But I'm not going to say we're definitely doing this because, like I said, I want to try to set us up for success. And I know myself, and if I tell myself I have to get all these things done, I'll feel stressed, and then I will then make my son feel stressed, and I don't want to do that, obviously. So the next thing that I just wanted to share and that I cut out from our curriculum choices, and I'm really, really sad about this one because I was so looking forward to doing it, but I just think it will be too much, is the Science for Little Hands and Hearts, Fields and Flowers, with the Big Book of Science Stories. Now, I'm not promising you that I'm definitely not doing it, like I said with the geography. This technically could be just the one thing that we do on the 5th day, and the lessons seem very easy, and my boys will love it, and I think I would really like to teach this one. Like I said, I'm really sad about not doing it, but we're doing so much science already, and we're learning about so many animals, and this is a lot of learning about animals and the environment, and we're already doing that with the Gather Round. So I'm really thinking about just saving this until next year and doing it next year, because that is probably the wise thing to do. And the other thing is, because in a couple more years, I want to start Sunlight Science with my boys, because then my younger son, my 3-year-old, will be in kindergarten in a couple years, probably anyway, but he'll be 5, so he'll definitely be able to do the Sunlight Science. So this could be the one thing in between this year and in 2 years that we do next year. It just seems to make sense. So yeah, I think we're gonna save this till then, but it will make me sad to do it because I have it already. I shouldn't have gotten it, but it is what it is. And that's it. That's our curriculum choices for the 2023-2024 school year. Like I said, I put so much thought into it, and I hope it works out, but I will definitely be updating on here how it goes throughout the year. I was going to include our extracurricular activities and, like play groups and co-ops and all that sort of a thing in this video. That's going to make this video really long, so I think I will save that for next video. And I just wanted to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.